£30,000? For a lot of people in the UK, it is a milestone, a number they have been working towards, a salary that is supposed to feel like you have arrived somewhere. And in some ways it does. But in 2026, £30,000 is also the salary level where a very common and very costly mistake starts to happen. People reach this income, feel like they have made it, and let their spending rise to match their earnings rather than letting their savings rise instead. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what £30,000 looks like after tax, what you can genuinely do with it, and how to avoid the trap that stops most people at this salary level from building real wealth. Let's establish the baseline. What actually lands in your bank account on a £30,000 salary? On a £30,000 gross salary in 2026, here is what comes out. Income tax. You pay 20% on everything above the £12,570 personal allowance. On £30,000, that means tax on £17,430, which works out to approximately £3,486 per year. National insurance. You pay 8% on earnings between £12,570 and £50,270. On £30,000, that means NI on £17,430, coming to approximately £1,394 per year. Workplace pension. At the auto-enrolment minimum of 5% employee contribution on qualifying earnings, your pension contribution is approximately £1,182 per year on a £30,000 salary. Total deductions come to approximately £6,062 per year, leaving a net take-home pay of approximately £23,938 per year, or around £1,995 per month, just under £2,000 per month in take-home pay. Compared to £1,883 per month on a £28,000 salary, the additional take-home pay from a £2,000 gross salary increase is just £112 per month. And compared to where this series started on £20,000, the cumulative improvement across a £10,000 increase in gross salary is £542 per month in additional take-home pay. Again, that gap between gross and net is explained entirely by UK income tax and national insurance. Keeping the same expense categories for consistency. Housing. £550 per month for a room in a shared house including bills. At £30,000, many people will be considering or have already made the move to renting independently. We will use the shared house figure for comparison purposes, but acknowledge that a one-bedroom flat in most UK cities outside London will add £200 to £400 per month to housing costs. Food. £175 per month. Transport. £80 per month. Mobile phone. £20 per month. Essential outgoings remain at £825 per month, leaving £1,170 from our £1,995. Take-home pay. At this income level, the case for solo living becomes more financially viable in many parts of the UK. A one-bedroom flat at £750 per month all in would bring housing costs up by £200, leaving £970 after essentials, rather than £1,170. That's still a meaningful budget to work with. And the lifestyle improvement of living independently is something many people value highly at this stage of their lives. The key is to make that decision consciously rather than simply defaulting to the most comfortable option available. After essential expenses, £1,170 remains each month in our shared living scenario. After discretionary spending of £250 to £350, which we will increase slightly to reflect the slightly more comfortable position this salary allows, between £820 and £920 per month is available for saving and investing. This is genuinely significant. On £30,000, managed deliberately, it is possible to be making meaningful contributions to every financial priority simultaneously. Emergency fund, pension, lifetime ISA, stocks and shares ISA, and still have money for life. That does not mean it is easy, it means it is possible if you are intentional. The difference between someone on £30,000 who builds real wealth and someone on £30,000 who always feels like they never have enough is almost never income. It is almost always habits and decisions. Here is the full picture across the salary series so far. On £20,000, take-home pay is £1,453 per month. Savings potential approximately £100 to £200 per month. On £25,000, take-home pay is £1,716 per month. Savings potential approximately £200 to £400 per month. On £28,000, take-home pay is £1,883 per month. Savings potential approximately £300 to £500 per month. On £30,000, take-home pay is £1,995 per month. Savings potential approximately £400 to £600 per month in a shared living situation. The pattern across this series is consistent. Each £5,000 increase in gross salary delivers roughly £150 to £265 in additional monthly take-home pay, meaningful improvements, but not transformational in isolation. What becomes transformational is stacking those improvements over time while keeping lifestyle costs broadly stable. At £30,000 in a shared living situation, here are the financial goals that move from theoretical to genuinely achievable within realistic timeframes. A full 6-month emergency fund of approximately £5,000 can be built within 10 to 12 months of focused saving, rather than the 18 to 24 months it might take on lower salaries. A first home deposit of £20,000 to £30,000 in many parts of the UK outside London becomes achievable within 3 to 4 years when combining a lifetime ISA, the government bonus, and disciplined saving. Reaching the £10,000 investment milestone inside a stocks and shares ISA within 2 to 3 years becomes realistic, at which point compound growth starts to become visible and motivating rather than theoretical. And reaching £100,000 in total net worth, including pension, ISA and savings, within a decade of starting work becomes achievable for someone who starts building these habits at or around a £30,000 salary in their mid-20s. These are not guarantees. They are illustrations of what becomes possible when income at this level is managed deliberately rather than allowed to disappear into lifestyle spending. This is the section that matters most for anyone who has recently reached £30,000 or is approaching it. The biggest financial mistake at this salary level is lifestyle inflation. Specifically, the version of lifestyle inflation that feels entirely reasonable because every individual spending decision seems justified. A slightly nicer flat, a newer car, more meals out, better holidays, nicer clothes. Each one feels earned, and individually, each one is affordable on £30,000. But collectively, they can absorb the entire financial improvement that the salary increase delivered, leaving someone on £30,000 feeling no more financially secure than they did on £25,000. The antidote is simple but requires deliberate action. When your salary increases, automate the saving of at least half the additional take-home pay before you have a chance to spend it. If your take-home pay rises by £167 per month when you go from £28,000 to £30,000, set up a standing order for £80 to £100 into your savings or ISA on payday before anything else. You'll barely notice the difference in your monthly spending, but the compounding effect of that automated saving over a decade is significant. Save the raise before you spend the raise. That single habit, applied consistently at every salary level, is one of the most powerful wealth building strategies available to any UK worker to bring it all together. On a £30,000 salary in 2026, your take-home pay is approximately £1,995 per month. After essential expenses, you have around £1,170 remaining in a shared living situation. A realistic savings and investment target is £400 to £600 per month if lifestyle costs are kept in check. The financial goals that become achievable at this income level, emergency fund, house deposit, meaningful investment portfolio, are real and within reach. And the single biggest threat to achieving them is lifestyle inflation, the gradual and largely invisible expansion of spending that absorbs every pay rise before it can become savings. Save the raise before you spend the raise. Apply that rule every time your income increases, and your financial trajectory will be fundamentally different in 10 years. If this video helped you understand what is possible on this salary, subscribing takes 2 seconds and means you won't miss a video. We post twice a week on making your money work harder in the UK, and next up we are doing the same breakdown for a £35,000 salary.